hands up. I know nearly all of you are research buyers. There's ABM Impact here, Join the Dots here, ERC here. We all want that 2% to get much, much bigger. Okay? And I'm going to show you today why we should be doing that. Okay? But before, we're going to go back many, many years. As Claudia said, if I could work out how to, oh, there we go. I've been in the market research industry now more than 25 years. So I started back end of the 80s, beginning of the 90s. And then, at that point, advanced market research was CATI, okay? Computer-assisted telephone interview. And I started my career as a telephone interviewer. And I was a very good telephone interviewer. Well, so I thought. But I'll tell you a little bit later why other people tended to disagree with my prowess as a telephone interviewer. But CATI was great. CATI still is great. You have random digit dialing. You've got your questionnaires could be as complicated as you like because it's all automatic routing, all fine. You could have really, really complicated quotas as well because the quota management systems were really fantastic, really good, really cool. And even though CATI probably started its existence before I started my research career, maybe even in the early 80s, late 70s, CATI is still being used today. So even though we're going to be talking about, and you've heard from BKC already, some new digital techniques which are great, a lot of the old things are still going on. We know here in Indonesia, there's still an awful lot of face-to-face interviews. So we'll come back to that. But again, going back to when I started my career, the colour's a bit bad, but I'm the guy next to the lady in the pink. Really? Things used to be very, very simple in the 1980s. Very simple for marketers. Okay? Very simple for people like you guys. You've got it difficult now. Back then, people in your positions had an easy life. There weren't as many choices. Consumers didn't have as many products and services to choose from. And how you communicated, how they got information about products and services was very simple as well. Basically, it was TVC, it was print, and then it was point of sale. Yeah, a little bit of radio, a little bit of cinema. Basically, TVC, print, and point of sale. So it wasn't very complicated to sell your stuff. Okay? It was easy. Now, it's a bit more complicated. People have evolved. People are multitasking, multi-screening all the time. People are sharing information in different ways. And whilst, yes, we've still got TVC, we've still got print, we've still got point of sale, they're still important. We've got digital out there as well, digital communication, but also we've got word of mouth. We've always had word of mouth, but now things spread like wildfire. Social media has completely changed how people avail of product and services. You've got bloggers and vloggers influencing people as well. So now it's much, much more complicated. So how do things look now? Well, they've changed. In a sense. Well, yes, you've got everybody, it's not just the millennials, you've got everybody on smartphones, looking at things differently, and we can contact people and we can conduct our market research using new, different devices, and we do. But the reason I say on this slide changed in a sense is because we've still got people there. That's the one common denominator. We're talking to people. People that have got a voice to be heard. So is research really evolving to keep up with what people want and how people are choosing? Well, I've got here in the top left, you can barely see this as 1980s, the linear approach to market research. Well, to be honest, I might as well say 2017 in many ways, because I believe, and actually the results that Piers showed on his State of the Industry report, show that an awful lot of the research done today is very, very similar to how things were done in the 1980s. Typically, a project, be it qualitative or quantitative, will take around 12 weeks to complete. From a research by issuing a brief, probably to multiple agencies, getting the proposals, reviewing the proposals, getting our good friends in procurement involved to see what they think about the price and make sure that you're getting the lowest price possible. Then you get into field work, you do your interviews, finally you get your report and your presentation, you sit back with your teams, go through the results and say, that's interesting, I wish we'd asked that. So let's start again, and let's do another 12-week process. That's how things were in the 80s, and actually that's pretty much how a lot of research is done today. However, there's some light at the end of the tunnel, because now we're seeing successful brands. Now we're seeing successful brands engaging more directly with customers and having some better integration, really understanding, talking to customers differently. Okay? And that's what we're going to be talking about today. How to engage with your customers, how to have better conversations with your customers to get away from this 12-week approach that maybe or maybe not will get you the answers that you're looking for. I want to go back to this lady again. She's a real lady. Yeah. She's somebody's grandmother, so be nice to her. There's some concerns back then when we're talking about Catty. Some of those concerns still remain. I'm going to tell you a story. I said at the beginning, I started my research career as a telephone interviewer, as a Catty interviewer. This picture reminds me of a real interview that I conducted with a lady in many years ago. And I was working on a project where the client was British Airways. And we were talking about the British Airways Executive Club, which is the frequent flyer program. So blue members, silver members, and gold members. This lady was a blue member. Okay? She didn't fly very often. She flew twice a year, but always with British Airways. In the winter, her and her husband would go to Spain to get a little bit of sunshine. And in the summer, they would go and visit their children their daughter in Australia. Okay? Always flew British Airways. Now, my questionnaire, my computer-assisted telephone high-tech super questionnaire, was all about what did she think about the points that she earned, how satisfied were, how long did it take to queue to check in, was she happy with that queuing time? That's it. So I was asking the questionnaire, she wasn't answering anything. She didn't want to talk about the executive club. She wanted to talk about her experience with British Airways. She wanted to talk about the nice cabin crew. She wanted to talk about the food you offered. And actually, didn't quite suit a lady of her age. And she wanted to suggest maybe British Airways could offer options like this, that, and the other. So, not answering the questions at all. As I was a very nice boy, I'm still a very nice boy, trust me. As I was a very nice boy, I was letting her speak. I was letting her give the answers that she wanted to give. I put the phone down very satisfied, and she was very happy because I let her talk about British Airways and what she wanted to discuss. Unfortunately, my supervisor wasn't quite as happy. And I was not quite blacklisted from working on the study, but almost. But the questionnaire certainly couldn't be used because my job was to talk to the customer using the questionnaire that I had in front of me, nothing else. And I think that's a bit of a problem because we need to remember that we're talking to people. We're talking to people that have got opinions, points of view, and feelings that are just as important as yours. And we need to be ready to listen to those opinions and have conversations rather than treat people as data points. So we need to get away from questions, get into conversations. I'm going to go to the bottom one. Get away from point in time and go to real time. Very much like we heard from BDRC in the first presentation. I think most important for me is to get away from the notion of respondents. I think it's discriminatory. The people that we're talking to, engaging with, are they respondents or are they people? I think they're people. So data points, I think if we really want to engage, really want to understand what's going on with your brands in our market here, we've got to have conversations to real people. So now I'm going to move on and talk a little bit about the authenticity of these conversations, about how you can best understand your customer and how you can get the best out of your markets. So the key is building relationships with your customers that improve over time. And that can only happen through engagement. Okay? Whether you're engaging in store with your products and services, or whether you're engaging in research tasks, you need to be able to have conversations. And there needs to be some value in those conversations for the people that you're talking to. Just asking people to rate something on a scale, you see, we shouldn't do that. You should be doing that. But you need to be able to have conversations and feedback. It's not just about give me, give me, give me. And this is where inside communities come in, because you can have timely, insightful conversations in real time that are going to be impactful in your business. And as I go through, I'll explain how you do that. But engagement, meaningful engagement, isn't easy. It's not just about spamming people online with email questionnaires and hoping that they're going to give you the answers that you need, because then there's nothing in it for the customer. Talk about authenticity. We want authentic, believable answers to come from your customers. And that has to come from the way that you talk to them, the way that you engage with them, the way that you connect with your customers. Every time I go to see a client or prospective client and ask them about their business, or I look at their brand collateral around the walls, there's an awful lot about customer centricity. Everybody says they're customer centric. But then when you talk to people about how they are engaging with their customers, how they're talking to their customers, some people are really doing some great stuff. But a lot of people, well, it's still, back in the 1980s, very pure and simple, the 12-week linear approach to their engagement. So I'll ask you to ask yourselves, are you truly customer-centric? Maybe you are, maybe you're not. Ask the question. Another question you should be asking yourselves every morning when you get up and look in the mirror is, are you worthy of your customers? Okay? Are you deserving of a relationship with your customers? A relationship where they are paying you money. Okay? Are you giving them anything that deserves your money? Other than just product. Other than just a product that tastes good, smells good, works, or a service that delivers interest or pays out when a disaster happens. Are you doing anything more than that to build up the relationship? Now this event, this Asia Research event, this is about relationships. This is about hopefully building relationships with you guys. And we're all doing it because we hope to get something out of it. Okay? We've got to be honest. This isn't a charity event. We're doing this to get something out of it. And the only way that BDRC, SSI, it'll be an impact. I'm going to get something out of this event, kindly hosted by Asia Research, is if there's something in it for you. So everything about this event, hopefully the papers that you're hearing today, is tailored towards you. So you get some value out of the event. So we are worthy of your time. If we are worthy of your time, then we may get the opportunity to build relationships with you. Now the same is exactly the case with you and your customers. You need to be worthy of their time. You need to be worthy of them spending money. So you need to, every touch point, every engagement, every conversation, there needs to be something in it for them, not just something in it for you. Because when they're buying your products, they're scrutinizing you, they're looking at you, they're looking at what your brands say. And you need to deliver to be able to win the game in the space that you're in. Now ultimately, authenticity and the way you engage and the way you talk to your customers breeds loyalty. Loyalty is something that is tangible. It's not just a buzzword. Customers are loyal to brands that they've got a strong emotional attachment to. And it's worthwhile to build up the emotional attachment to get that loyalty. Because loyal customers are likely to spend twice as much on your products, on your brands, as customers that are not loyal. Also, loyal customers will speak to their friends, will speak about you on Facebook and Twitter and WhatsApp, create positive buzz. And that's very, very important today. As we said earlier, it's a very complex market. How you contact people, how you convince people to buy your products isn't easy anymore. And also, creating positive word of mouth means that if you're going to get a blogger or a vlogger looking at your products and services, they're going to write something nice about you. You may or may not know that 80% of people that read a negative review about a product won't buy the product. So it's in your best interests to make sure that people are speaking about it the correct way, building that loyalty. Additionally, it can cost up to 7 times as much money to attract a new customer to your brands than to keep an existing customer. So whilst it's hard work, it takes time to bring that authenticity, to create the relationships, to create loyalty. It's really expensive if you don't, because you're spending an awful lot of money attracting new customers to replace ones that are leaving your brands. So, rather, I'll press this one all the time, it's overbuilt. What if, instead of conducting a number of ad hoc studies, each taking upwards of 12 weeks to be able to conduct, you could establish a continuous dialogue with a group of your customers to build up emotional engagement over time. Not just asking the questions on the topics to the left here, but really getting deep into understanding who your customers are, what their motivations are, so you can essentially get them to spend more money with you and to be loyaler to your brand. Now this doesn't mean, when we're talking about conversations, don't think I'm only talking about qualitative. I'm not speaking about qualitative at all. With an insight community, you're engaging with people in qualitative, quantitative. We're not talking about completely new and alien things. Concept development, concept testing, product testing, online and offline, ad testing, qualitative forums, qualitative focus groups, even We can be working with people like Ian and be doing complex multivariate analysis. Anything and everything you can do in your traditional research, you can do with an insight community, speaking specifically to your customers, helping to build up an authentic relationship with your customers, but being able to seamlessly revisit as well. So instead of getting your results from study one and say, oh, I wish I'd asked this, you can immediately, in real time, ask that why question as well, seamlessly slipping between qualitative and quantitative research. So what specifically is an insight community? Because I haven't said that. An insight community, very simply, is a group of your customers that are invited to a branded platform, and that's where the digital area of it gets in, becomes involved, invited to join an exclusive club where we interact with them over time. We're giving them regular surveys, we're talking to them, we're engaging with them, and we're feeding back the results that we get over time to help them feel as a valued customer, to help them feel that the brand, your brand, cares about them. Now what are the benefits of an insight community? There are multiple benefits. Being able to truly understand your customer and how your customer evolves over time is tremendously powerful. You're talking to the same people over and over again. With traditional research, you're going to have to screen, you're going to have to speak to, screen your, find people that qualify for your study, ask them the questions, and then if you do another study, you have to talk to another group of people, finding other people that qualifies as well. Instead of that linear approach, with an insight community, you talk to them in a longitudinal fashion. So you can ask people what they think, what they believe, what they like, what their preferences are today. Then next week you can talk to the same people to see if actually what they're doing is correct or not. If you're doing a product test or concept test, you show people on the community, what do you think of this? And you find a group of people that think, oh, I think that's fantastic, I would definitely buy that. Go back to the same people, those people that said, would definitely buy it 6 months' time. Did you really buy it? And if not, why not? If yes, what do you think about it? Will you continue to buy it? So lots of the traditional stuff that's building up that longitudinal knowledge. And you can forget that 12-week cycle. You're talking about days or potentially even hours to be able to get real-time results. And again, as the BDRC presentation said, getting as close to real-time as possible is really important. Sticking to the longitudinal theme, being able to track trends in real time and understanding when a product life cycle is starting to wane is very, very important. So you know before your sales figures drop that you could have a potential issue with a product that you've got, so you can do something about it, is very powerful. So essentially the efficiencies that you're going to get from insight communities means a greater return on investment and better business decisions. Now a little bit of a, is it fact or is it fiction? Is this just something that is a nice, would be nice, but isn't really possible? Well, a couple of points here. Questions to be had. Do you want statistical significance or do you want truth? Now if you ask me, are you going to be able to get a nationally representative sample and nationally representative results from an insight community? No, you can't. You can design a community and recruit a community that is representative of your customer base, but it's not nationally representative. So an insight community is no good for penetration, no good for incidence checks, but it is good for really understanding what people think about your brand and about building your brand. Now the reason I've got the mayonnaise or the scrambled egg on the tie here is people that know me in the audience know that if I'm going to eat something, I'm going to get it down my shirt. So I haven't eaten anything yet. Now, question here about truth. That if I had eaten breakfast, if I had got scrambled egg down my shirt, and I'm meeting one of you for the first time, one of you here that don't know me, would you tell me that I had scrambled egg and tomato ketchup down my shirt? I don't think you would. I think you'd be tremendously polite, look at me in the eye, and speak to me, and you wouldn't mention it. I was talking to Piers, who I've known for more than 15 years. He'd say, idiot, you've got ketchup down your shirt. People that know you, people that have a relationship with you, will tell you the truth. People that are just given an ad hoc questionnaire, that don't know too much about the brand, have had no positive feedback from the brand, do they really care enough to tell you what's good, bad, or indifferent? The relationship is going to get you closer to the truth. Another question is, do insight communities work in Asia? Well, here's a selection of insight communities that are happening in Asia Pacific region. There's one or two of them in there that are actually going on in Indonesia as well. More and more companies are getting beyond the 2% that we've got here and availing of insight communities as a way to engage with their customers to build their brands. And it's growing, and it's growing, and it's growing. And people love communities. Do people like getting the call, the catty call or whatever, will you take part in a piece of market research for me? Oh, God. Yeah, go on, then how long is it going to take? 5 minutes. All right, I've got 5 minutes. 25 minutes later, still 2/3 of the way through the questionnaire. People don't like taking part in market research. Even worse, knocking on the door. Can I come in? Can I come and see you? I've only got a few questions for you. Yeah, an hour and a half later, they've kicked the cat, drunk 2 cups of tea, and they're still there. People don't like market research. With insight communities, they do like it. Don't listen to me. I'm going to close by showing a very short video which shows some of the members of our MyDear community here. MyDear is the world's biggest home appliance company based in China. They're launching here in Indonesia and doing very, very well. We have a community with them.
Menjadi anggota media community sudah kurang lebih 2 minggu. Setelah gabung di komunitas ini, yang saya dapatkan adalah saya jadi lebih tahu tentang produk-produk media seperti AC, kemudian mesin cuci, dan lain sebagainya. Kenapa saya ingin tetap menjadi anggota media? Karena di mana saya mendapatkan ilmu yang beda, menambahkan ilmu saya, dan juga mendapatkan hubungan yang baik dengan para anggota media yang lainnya, dan juga saya juga mengenal kiat-kiat atau tips-tips bagaimana cara merawat perabotan. Di situ banyak sekali ilmu-ilmu yang sangat bermanfaat untuk saya.
Saya senang untuk memberikan pendapat saya di dalam media community ini karena pendapat saya benar-benar sungguh diperhatikan oleh pihak media, sehingga saya merasa nyaman untuk selalu memberikan pendapat saya di dalam komunitas ini. Semoga dengan adanya komunitas ini, media bisa semakin sukses. Terima kasih banyak media.
These are the people that are important, your customers. So talk to your customers, engage with your customers, and you'll sell more stuff. Thank you very much.